Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to connect Azure Analysis Service with REST API using the Python code. Along with that, and we'll see how we can control some of the services and other properties in Azure Analysis Service. For this practice, I'm going to use the Jupyter Notebooks launching from the Anaconda. That's a best way, and I very frequently use the Anaconda for my Python script, to execute the Python scripts and on my day-to-day work activities. Without get delay, let's get started. In my previous video, which is available in the YouTube under the library, the playlist library called Azure Cloud, there the video is uploaded. So the last video. So in this video, we covered how to resize the pricing tiers dynamically of the Azure Analysis using the PowerShell script. Okay, so here I covered fully how we can schedule the PowerShell scripts and how you can what is the best way to resize your pricing tiers. Okay, so now let me go to my Python code. Okay, so this is the Python code presently I'm using it, and here I use the different libraries. This is the entire end-to-end script where you can control the Azure Analysis Services, whether you can suspend the service or you can resume the service. And along with that, you can change the pricing tier of the Azure Analysis Service. I'm covering only those two properties, stop and start the service and changing the pricing tier. We have other properties like adding the user to the Azure Analysis Service and fetching the subscription ID. There are additional details that we have, but due to the security reasons, I'm not going to show all those. But you can using this code where you can get the extra properties here. You can play with this code in your environment. Okay, but I'm going to cover only the stop and start the Azure Analysis Service and then changing the pricing tier from one tier to another tier. Okay, so here in this Python script, these are the libraries that I'm going to use for different level. I'm going to use these libraries. These are the list of libraries I'm using. And before we're going to start connecting the REST API, we need list of all these details. So we need to get the tenant ID and client ID, client secret, and subscription ID. So all these four details, you can get it from your cloud admin, where you can connect with them and you can ask them to share those details. In case if the REST API is not created, they will create. They will register your Azure Analysis Service to the REST APIs, and they will provide all details. Okay. For safety reasons, I'm passing all these tenant IDs, client ID, client secret, all these, where you can see creds to connect. So I'm storing all these credentials to one YAML file. From the YAML file, I'm calling these credentials. Okay. You can see here the format of the YAML file. This is not original format. The original one I have in different location. For this demo purpose, I duplicated this YAML file and put it in the dummy values under the, these parameters. So within the YAML file, this is my master header. Under that, I have all these like attributes where I give the values in the dictionary format where you have a key and the respective value. Okay, you can keep entire all the values here: tenant ID, client secret, subscription ID, resource group, and the server name and model name. Generally, it's a best way, safe way that you can always mask your credentials so that if you share entire this code to somebody else, it will be safe and secure. Since it's my development environment, I'm using this ML file to execute and test my queries connecting to Azure Analysis Service development environment. But when we move to production, in production, we use the Azure Key Wallet where we store all these details and call these details in runtime in production where they execute securely in the Azure Cloud Portal. Okay, so that's about ML. Now here I filled all the details, the respective details in my YAML file. This is my original YAML file. And then this is the scope that you need to mention. So management.azure.com. So this is the scope you need to mention. And then from there, here I'm using the token URL where I'm going to pass the tenant ID and generate the, my access token to connect to the Azure Analysis Service. Once it's connected, then I'm using the variables. These variables are completely give information about the Azure Analysis Service. Once I do that, here I'm calling the URL, what exactly the URL that we use to connect to the Azure Analysis Service. And then we use the request method. Okay. Now, in this scenario, what I'm doing here, I'm trying to fetch the status of Azure Analysis Service, whether the Azure Analysis Service is, whatever I'm looking for is up and running or not. Okay. I'm going to run this script one by one. So let me run this script first, loading the libraries and then loading the YAML file and triggering the all these tenant IDs and generating the token. Token got generated. Now I'm going to check whether my Azure Analysis Service is up and running. When I hit this code, usually you get status code is 200 and server state is succeeded. That means the server heartbeat is, I mean, it's giving the heartbeat. Okay, that means it's live. And here you can see the statement, the string that I'm using till server name. Okay, that's where I get the status. Now, if I execute this statement, then I'll get what are the columns that we fetched from the Azure Analysis Service. So you get properties from the Azure Analysis. Under the properties, you will have a lot of details. Okay, it's very confidential, where you get the subscription ID, resource group name, who are having the all admin access, and yeah, all these client IDs, you will get it from the properties. ID is nothing but you're just, you know, what is the Azure Analysis unique ID? Name is nothing but your Azure Analysis Service. Type is populating as null. Okay, location, you get it like whether your Azure Analysis Service hosted in which region. And SKU is nothing but your pricing type, whether your Azure Analysis Service having the pricing type like S1, S2, S3, S4, where you will have a different configuration, different memory, QPS, query processing units for different SKU. And the tags are nothing but who's the owner for this Azure Analysis Service, who's the application owner, whether the Azure Analysis Service is the dev environment or production environment. So these type of details you will have. Okay. And now here I'm just capturing what is my current pricing tag. Okay. So you can see here my presently pricing tag is set to S0. Okay, and it's a standard, and we have capacity one. Okay, that's how the pricing tag. And now let's go and shoot the changing the pricing tag from one level to another level. Okay, first we target about the changing the pricing tag. You can look here. My pricing tag is currently set to S0, where I have the 10 GB and 40 query processing units. Okay, you can see here changing from you know to here. So it's S0. Now I'm going to change this pricing tag from S0 to S1. Okay, and here you can see this is the script I'm using. So here I populated the JSON code to pass the that as a parameter to the request.patch. That is the function we are going to use, and then the URL that I prepared. You can see this is the URL, and then headers. This headers is like authenticating the authorization using the token to the Azure Analysis Service. And this is the final code where, where I'm executing request.batch and URL I'm passing, headers I'm passing, and passing the my JSON format script. Okay. And then I'm storing the response. Now I'm triggering that response here. What happens here, since I'm changing the pricing tag, it will take time, right? As soon as I hit from S0 to S1, it will take time. So what I'm telling to this script, it will continuously keep monitoring the status of SKU. When it's changed from S0 to S1, then it will stop and it will show the what is the pricing tag. That is the script entirely about it. Okay. Now I'm going to trigger this script. Okay. So triggered. Now you can see here the Python code is started and then it's already set to S0. Already the pricing tag is S0, right? That's why it's very quick. Now let me change this to S1. I triggered the script again, changing the SKU from S0 to S1. Now it's executing. All right. Elapsed time, it's executing. And then this query keep on tracking the status. Now we'll check here quickly what's going on. Probably I'll just click here and then again click back here. It's not changed yet. Yeah, it's changed the pricing tag, I guess. Yeah, it's changed the pricing tag from S0 to S1. Now we'll check here. Change back. Yeah, now we can see the pricing tag is changed from S0 to S1. That's the written value. We got it here. Okay, this is how we can change from one pricing tier to another pricing tier. Now we'll check how we can, suspend, stop, and resume the service. Okay, so for that we use this script. This is the another script. Uh, Here we don't need any, we don't use the patch request or patch or get. We use the post where we send the request to, no, where we send the instruction to Azure Analysis Service. That's the reason here we use the post. Now I'm changing this, status of my Azure Analysis Service. Now presently it's in the running state, right? Now I'm going to change this to suspended. Okay, let me execute the script. Okay, it's hit suspended. Now I'm going to execute this script to check the status. What is the status? You see server state is paused. Okay, so now the server state is paused. Here if you go, then if you click on here, I can't click here overview because there is some confidential information is there. I can't click there. Now I'll show here what's going on with pricing type. You see here under the replica information. Cannot list models or from the server at this time. Okay, that means the service is paused. Okay, now I go back to here, the code, and execute, the same script from suspend to resume, which is nothing but start the service. Now I change the status to resume. Okay, it's completed. Now check the status of the service and execute the state. It's resuming. You can see here the server state is resuming, and you keep on executing. So let me execute one more time. Still, it's resuming. Yeah, resuming will take time always. We'll wait for a couple of seconds. Yeah, so now you can see the service is back to online, and you can click. You see here the pricing tier is previously disabled. Now it's going to enabled. Okay. I think it's in the portal. It takes time, little more time to resume. Okay, click here and click here. Yeah, so now we can see it's back to the S1 state. Okay, so this is how you can change your, pricing type of the Azure Analysis Service, and you can start service and suspend the service and resume the service. Not only this, as I mentioned previously, you can play with some properties using this code, where you can go with these properties and change the response. That's about this video. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next video with a different topic. Thank you.